Hi there. Today I'm going to talk about PDUs. I'm going to cover what is a PDU, how are 35 PDU different than 60 PDUs, what is the difference. I'm going to talk about type of PDUs and free PDUs, and in case you have still some ambiguities, I'm going to give you the help email so that you can reach out and have a discussion or ask your questions. So first of all, what is a PDU? A PDU is a Professional Development Unit. That's the full form. Who decides that, and where is this term originated from? So there is this company called PMI, Project Management Institute, and it has several certification. For example, PMP is a certification offered by PMI. Now and then CAPM and other certification like ACP and so on. So you can see full list of certification if you go to pmi.org. So PMI decided that to do a certification, you need to have some kind of learning. They also decided that after you complete your certification, you also need to keep on learning your domain stuff, domain skills. So they have mentioned in their book, I'm going to talk about what is the book, that 1 hour of learning is equal to 1 PDU. Okay, so if you learn for 1 hour, that would translate to 1 PDU. That's the broader version. Now, when PMI says, let's say I'm going to take an example of PMP. So to do PMP, there is some eligibility criteria. You need to have some kind of education. You need to have some kind of project management experience. And then you need to have some kind of official learning on the domain skills, which is 35 hours of project management training, which gives you 35 PDUs. This total gonna make you eligible for PMP. Once you are eligible and once you qualify the PMP, once you become a PMP, then you don't become a PMP for lifetime. This PMP certification is valid only for 3 years. In this 3 years, you need to learn, you need to update yourself with new skill set. For example, burn up, burn down chart, servant leader, and so on. So once you learn those skill set, and I'm going to talk about what are different type of skill set which you need to learn as per PMI, then, and if you learn it for 60 hours, then you can renew your PMP again. And the same thing is for other PMI certifications also. So after 3 years, you click on renew button, you claim 60 PDUs in something called CCR, PMI's dashboard. You keep on claiming. Once you have 60 PDUs, then you renew, pay certain fees here for renewal, then again 3 years, acquire 60 PDUs, renew again, and so on. So this cycle goes on till you want it. For example, I am a 2012 PMP and my PMP is valid even now because I kept on renewing my certificate. I kept on learning new skill set and I claimed that CCR and so on. So first question is, can I get those 35 PDUs by learning? How is it different than 60 PDUs? So when anybody talks about 60 PDU cycle, one, you cannot use those 60 PDUs here and can learn that I have learned officially this 35 PDU and I am become eligible for the PMP exam. The 35 PDU certificate which you need to learn for PMP exam is slightly different. For this, you have to either be part of a workshop by somebody called ATP. It can be a classroom or it can be a virtual workshop, wherein the ATP provides you the official learning governed by PMI and gives you a 35 PDU certificate. PMI knows that this ACP has given you this particular learning and they would okay your application. The other is self-study courses which are available at pmi.org. You can buy that and you get a 35 PDU certificate because PMI knows that you have done this self-study course through PMI. So this is also valid, and this would not be audited. Some people try and do some self-study courses or some unauthorized trainer courses, and they get 35 PDU through those resources. So you get resources like Udemy, wherein trainer says, you can claim. You can as of today, but PMI is trying to do some certain things which I'm not aware of. But there would be some rules pretty soon out wherein you cannot claim those 35 PDU. As on today, if you claim 35 PDUs by, a course from Udemy or somewhere else, then you can claim. However, your application may go under audit. The reason for that is PMI do not know, they have no source whether you have done this particular program, whether the content is whatever PMI want you to study, and so on. So your application may get into audit. How do you get 60 PDUs? So this is a PDU requirement by something called CCR, or Continuing Education by PMI. For that, try and download a PDF from PMI. Let me show you the first page of this PDF. This PDF is named, give me a minute. This is called CCR, Continuing Certification Requirement Handbook by PMI. So if you go to your browser and you're gonna write CCR by PMI, you should be able to download this particular PDF file. So download that, and here you're gonna see a lot of things. I'm just gonna talk about the different type of PDUs, and I'm gonna take an example of PMP. Now for PMP, what it says is, and I told you that once you acquire your certification, it is valid only for 3 years. To renew that, you need 60 PDUs, and you need to earn those 60 PDUs. You need to earn minimum 35 in education. That means you have to learn at least for 35 hours and claim that. There are certain PDUs by which you can claim those PDUs by giving back also to your profession. These are free PDUs. So there is question like, I'm working project manager. Am I learning something myself? Yes, you are. So can I claim that in the PMI? Yes, you can. But there is a maximum cap. You can claim maximum free PDUs, which is 25 in total. For the rest of the PDUs, which is 35, you do have to go through some kind of education, some kind of classroom or self-study session. So how do I know which course is going to comply to that? So what PMI says, so let me talk about first about giving back maximum PDUs. In what activities you can claim those PDUs. So giving back to profession is things like volunteering or creating knowledge or working as a professional. There's an example given. If you're working as a PM and you say, I've been working as a PM from this state to this state, and you want to give, total 3 years as a PM, this is like more than 60 PDUs, more than 60 hours of work. But the maximum you can claim under this category is 8 PDUs. That's it. So even if you are working full-time as a project manager, you cannot claim 60 PDUs being a project manager. Okay, you need to have 8 ways of working PDU, 8 power skill PDU, and 8 business acumen PDUs. That is minimum. You need to learn from these 3 domains. I'll talk about these domains slightly later. If you need to know more information about, what is volunteering, how do I put in this information, or working as a professional, you can go down in this particular document, and then look at various things. For example, working as a practitioner. Now here, what is the PDU documentation required is proof of employment. You need to upload that and write the JD, job description, and start date and date. You also need to refer somebody, somebody who can say that yes, you've been working as a practitioner. So somebody, your boss name, his email ID, phone numbers, and so on. So this is how you can go ahead and apply. So this is more details. For example, I've been writing a book. So I'm writing a book from last 1.5 month. So many hours gone. Can I claim that in creating content? Remember, the maximum cap which you have here is 25 PDUs. That's it. I cannot claim more than that. So documentation for audit is copies of publication, course agendas, and so on. So this becomes slightly tedious. Let's talk about education PDUs. Now, what is education PDUs? This is what PMI said, that you can always go and do a course, but these courses should focus on ways of working, which means you should know your skill set. How can you get better requirements? How can you do requirement elaboration, and so on. So ways of working is technical skill set. Power skill is how do you work with people, and business acumen is how do you go ahead and look at the bigger picture, look at the strategy. So you need to know all of this, at least 8 hours here, 8 hours in power skill, 8 hours in business acumen, and then only you gonna have the minimum requirement met. So at least 8 ways of working, 8 power skill, and 8 business acumen. And rest of the other PDUs, total 60 PDUs, right? You can get in any of the domain. So let me go back to the PPT now, since you have seen. So you can go and get 60 PDUs and claim it at CCR. You can try and get it from, giving back or under education. In education, you cannot claim that I learned a new game and you can claim that PDU, because it does not come under any of those 3 domains or PMI triangle. Free PDUs are those, officially free PDUs wherein you are giving back to profession. For example, working as a professional, volunteering, and so on. However, there is a maximum cap of 25 PDUs. Rest of the other PDUs has to come from education. You need to do a course. As I told you, education PDUs are as per the PMI talent triangle. You need to know WOW. WOW is ways of working, power skills, and then business acumen. At least 8 should be earned from each domain, and then rest of the other PDUs can come from any other domain. So you can get 35 PDUs here. Or if you want, you can get 60 PDUs from education itself. You can decide. However, please ensure, or you cannot say, I learned few things. For example, you did risk management. You learned all the technique of risk management and you acquired 45 PDUs here. Rest of the other PDUs you got from, let's say, free PDUs. And then you claimed 45 PDUs. You still have to do 8 PDUs here and 8 PDUs here. You still have to meet the minimum requirement also. So a lot of time you keep on feeding PDUs, and PMI do not change your status at all, because those PDUs are going into a kitty or into a domain which you have already overflown. The rest of the other domain needs that kind of PDUs. So we have made it easy for you. I made a course called Happy Managers course. I know whatever I told you is very technical. Now here, if you go to Happy Managers course, the course is designed in such a way that it's tells you what is new in the project management domain. So it has the adequate wow PDUs, ways of working PDUs. It has power skill PDUs. It has business acumen PDUs. So you don't have to worry at all, and you get 60 PDUs. In fact, you get more than 60 PDUs, 61 or something, when you buy this course, and you can straight away apply, and you don't have to worry about anything. These are pre-approved. This is pre-approved. That means PMI won't do audit for you for these PDUs. They are pre-approved in the system, and the claim process takes only 5 minutes using the pre-approved codes. So just see how would you do a claiming of these PDUs. There's a video there, and go ahead and renew your PMP any amount of time. If you have more questions, you can write to me at help@kavitasharma.net. I'll be happy to answer any question which you have. That's pretty much from me today, and wish you a very, very happy new year. Thank you, and have a very nice day. Bye bye.